Hi, my name is Mark Gardner. I'm an architect. I'm with Jacobs Gardner Architects. I'm also assistant professor at Parsons, the New School, and I'm honored to share the stage with Mary Canning.
I'm Mary Canning. I'm the founder of the human rights honey company, Follow the Honey, with a brick and mortar in Harvard Square that was established to create a market for small batch producers from around the world. We now have a Tanzanian majority-held joint venture in Dar es Salaam called Follow the Honey Tanzania.
So this project that we're presenting is the beekeepers Asali and Yuki Sanctuary. You'll hear a few words that are Swahili, obviously, so I think you're probably already kind of getting it. Asali.
Honey.
Yuki.
Bee.
Now, there's another word, Machali.
Machali, that's like the soul journey. That's like when you listen to your gut and you switch. You think you're going one place, but you're actually on the journey to your heart's desire.
So we all know that, or hopefully know, that bees globally are under stress from a lot of different forces. The African bee is in a different context, does not have some of those stresses on it. And the area we're talking about in western and central Tanzania actually has, is in areas that are where subsistence farmers are. And so Mary and our partner, who I'll talk about in a minute, have a very large network.
15,000 beekeepers.
So the project, and one thing I'll just add really quickly, is that when we came to it, we didn't look at it as a problem. Designers usually face problems, right? But what if we took problem off the table, especially when we talk about community engagement? It opens a different framework for us to look and engage with what's happening, the conditions. And so, sure, there are challenges, which we'll talk about. Our stakeholders, really quickly, obviously Follow the Honey Tanzania, which is a Trans-American company. My firm, our brother, who I should mention, David Kamara, National Beekeeping Supply, who's the guy on the ground, and Yuki Safari Company. So, quickly, I'll just say we basically put together a group to go into create a hub for these beekeepers to come together, an educational center that has certain benefits.
Well, it takes 1,125 bees foraging 2 million flowers to make 1 pound of honey. It's 1/12 a teaspoon per bee per lifetime. It's liquid gold. It's honey money. If you can't beat it, you can't see it. So people are living in silos in very remote areas that are the sort of ambassadors of water, sun, and flora, and they should be rewarded for their stewardship, and that's what we seek to do with this project. And
understand the value that they sit on, right? So we're going to create this center. What we've learned from the bee, really, is, to that earlier quote from the Thomas Seeley quote, is that we don't have to necessarily replicate what they're doing, but we can learn from it, and so we have a center that in the design can actually expand as the social enterprise expands. So as the enterprise grows, we bring more beekeepers to the network. There's the capacity for education, for production. This is basically a production facility. It's a facility for people. A honey market. You'll see a few renderings of the design. As I said, it's a place for people. It's a gathering place. It's a hub. They're all spokes, and they need to sort of be able to come together and understand their place. And so the thing that I'll say is just wrapping up.
Kamaniyuki, Pamoja Tunaweza, like the bees, together we rise.
Asante Sana.
Thank you.
So why this project? Why this issue? Why are we passionate about this issue?
When I met Mary, one of the things that I'll say that was really, she told me a lot of things that made the connection for me between bees and these, she's worked all globally, and bees and poverty from subsistence farmers who are also beekeepers, local tribes people she's working with there, the environment, the terroir, that all the bees have different environments that they live in, and people interact with those bees, right? So we get the honey, the products. But the thing that she's told me that really stuck with me was design brings dignity. And so in that she had me right there. which was if we create this place that the beekeepers can understand the value in what they do.
Well,
Were they part of the design process? Were the beekeepers part of the design process of your new building?
Well, my bee brother, David Kamara, unfortunately he couldn't get his visa expedited, but he's the gentleman who's been roaming the country for a decade and educating on a local level to bring people into the conversation. And that's why we say Black Hives Matter, to amplify what that means, both in the diaspora people who have chosen to come here, and for the people that are left out of the equation, that are sitting on wealth, and there's no internal ownership. So David is really sort of the ambassador of getting feedback for us as to what matters to the local.
Right, and we've both married numerous times where we traveled with David, and he actually took us on bee safari, which we call it, right, the Yuki Safari. So we actually went and we met with these beekeepers, these people out in outlying areas, and talked to them. And when they found out, Mary, I guess you could say, when they found out like what was sort of going to happen, they're like, first they were shocked by the value and what they do, and that in markets, what honey sells for, that they're not getting. Next, they realized with a central hub, they're like, I can meet others who do what I do and share the things that I know.
I was in a Burundi refugee camp, and there's a gentleman with tons of honey and beeswax, but he had no mobility to enter the market, and so that's people are sitting ducks for exploitation, because certain people will come in with a flatbed and say, I'll give you $100 for that. And so when they see a jar of honey that's from New Zealand that people are paying $30 for, everyone can do the conversion between US dollars and Tanzanian shillings. So.
Can you talk a little bit more about that return on the investment and sort of the, I guess, the economic opportunity that provides to an individual?
Like I said, this hashtag of honey money, that when I was in Tanzania for the first time in 2012, and I brought all these samples from the US, and there were people, not everyone was bilingual, and coming in, but they could look at the jar and they could get the wheels turning about how it could be so that if they were part of a greater network and they were offered an in point, which is, you see a lot of goodwill situations, and they upscale production, but not a way to sell. And that's why I started Follow Honey, when I saw widows and girls in the Western Ghats of Kerala who had the capacity to scale up, but just no way to sell. So we're the sellers.
And those profits will come back into the collective, and as I said, with the educational component that we have, microfinance, I don't know if you saw that, microfinance, the ability to teach, and how that they're basically, it's entrepreneurship. They're learning, which is new in the context, surprisingly, or maybe not, but those unfamiliar with it, it allows them to bring that value back into their own villages and outlying areas.
Thank you.